Jerry Harris, star of hit Netflix show Cheer, has received 12 years in prison, after he pleaded guilty in a federal sex abuse case. Harris, 22, rose to fame in the docuseries which followed Navarro College's competitive cheer squad, but in February he admitted receiving images of child sexual abuse and to traveling with the intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct. The former TV star used his status as a competitive cheerleader and his fame to persuade and entice his young victims to engage in sexually explicit conduct for him or with him, Assistant U.S. Attorney Kelly Guzman previously said in a sentencing memo. Today, during a Chicago sentencing hearing, Harris received 20-year imprisonment. A prosecutor had previously asked for him to receive 15 years in prison as well as 10 years of supervised release after his prison term. But Harris' lawyers sought a shorter sentence of 6 years, followed by 8 years of supervised release. Cheer's first season was released in January 2020 and Harris even attended the famous Vanity Fair Oscar after-party, alongside Hollywood's elite. But in September that year, the then 19-year-old Harris was arrested by the FBI after being accused of sexual abuse by two 13-year-old twin brothers. Opening up about why they reported Harris during an episode of Season 2 of Cheer, one of the twins said, "I want to be the start of the change in Cheer." Harris was initially charged with 1 count of producing child pornography, but in December 2020, he was indicted on more charges alleging sexual misconduct in Illinois, Florida, and Texas. In February this year, Harris pleaded guilty to 2 of the 7 felony counts against him. He admitted that he had persuaded a 17-year-old to send him sexually explicit photos for money and that he had also traveled to Florida for the purpose of engaging in illicit sexual conduct with a 15-year-old. Prosecutors dropped the remaining 5 charges as part of a plea agreement. Guzman's full sentencing memo, written previous to today's hearing, read that Harris used his status as a competitive cheerleader, his social media persona, and eventually his celebrity and money, to persuade and entice his young victims to engage in sexually explicit conduct for him or with him. Video loading. Video unavailable. Click to play. Tap to play. The video will autoplay soon. 8 Cancel play now. Harris had a traumatic childhood, his defense lawyers previously said. They described him as both victimizer and victim and said that he was sexually assaulted himself as a child. His lawyers wrote, "The trauma he experienced as a child normalized his skewed version of what he understood to be appropriate relationships. No one was there to stand up for him when he was sexually assaulted as a minor. He is grateful that is not the case for his victims in this case, to whom he is profoundly remorseful." Federal prosecutors have acknowledged that Harris' childhood was a mitigating factor in his crimes, but argued, while Harris's childhood was very difficult, it was not a blank check to commit sex offenses against minors.